Have you ever seen a man who had everything except sleep? This is the story of a rich man who had all the luxuries money could buy, yet every night he lay wide awake, haunted by his own thoughts. And the man who taught him the true meaning of peace was a poor tailor with nothing but a smile and a quiet heart. Rohan was a millionaire. He had built a business empire from scratch. Expensive suits, imported watches, a mansion that could be seen from miles away. People envied him. They said, "He's living the dream." But what they didn't see was the nightmare that began every time the sun went down. Every night, Rohan tossed and turned. He had the softest mattress, the coolest air, and zero noisy air. He couldn't sleep. His mind kept racing. What if tomorrow the market crashes? What if someone betrays me? What if I lose everything I worked for? He tried everything. Sleeping pills, meditation apps, expensive therapies, but nothing helped. His eyes had dark circles, his temper was short, and despite having everything, he felt hollow, like something important was missing, but he didn't know what. One night, unable to take it anymore, he went out for a walk. No guards, no car, just him and the silence of the streets. As he wandered through the quiet lanes of the old city, something caught his attention. A tiny shop, lit by a weak yellow bulb. Inside, a man was humming softly while stitching clothes. His hands moved with grace, his face glowed with calm, and even though he was clearly poor, his eyes held peace. The shop's sign read, "Faisal Tailor of Smiles." Intrigued, Rohan stepped closer and asked, "You seem very happy. Business must be good." The man looked up, smiled, and replied, "It's not about business, sir. It's about being content. I stitched 5 shirts today. I had food. My kids are asleep. That's more than enough to be happy." Rohan frowned. "But what if tomorrow you have no customers? Doesn't that scare you?" Faisal smiled again. "I don't borrow tomorrow's problems to ruin today's peace." Something in those words stopped Rohan cold. He stepped into the shop and sat down. It was dusty. The bench was hard. But something about this place felt lighter than the mansion he called home. "How do you sleep?" Rohan asked. "Do you ever lie awake thinking about bills or failures or the future?" Faisal looked at him kindly. "Sir, I sleep like a child, because I don't chase life, I live it. I trust the one who controls tomorrow, and I keep my today simple, honest, and full of gratitude." Rohan stayed silent. Those words echoed in his mind. He realized that all his life, he had been building walls of fear, control, and possession. But peace couldn't live inside a fortress. It needed space to breathe. That night, Rohan didn't go back to his mansion. He stayed in the tailor's humble home. No AC, just a fan and an old floor mattress. No designer blanket, just a warm old sheet. And yet, for the first time in years, he slept deeply, peacefully, without fear, without noise. In the morning, Rohan sat on the small balcony, sipping chai from a steel cup. Faisal was getting ready for the day's work, folding fabric with the same calm he always had. Rohan spoke softly. "Last night, I slept, not because I was tired, but because I felt free. How can I repay you for what you've given me?" Faisal laughed. "Sir, peace is not alone. It's a choice. And now, you know where to find it." From that day on, Rohan's life changed. He didn't give up his business, but he gave up his fears. He simplified his life, gave his staff more freedom, ate meals with his drivers, took evening walks without his phone, and every night before bed, he would close his eyes, smile, and say, "Thank you." People noticed. He looked younger, calmer, stronger, not because his world changed, but because he changed the way he looked at the world. Years later, Rohan opened a community center in Faisal's name, the Tailor of Peace, a place where people came not to buy anything, but to learn how to live with less fear and more heart. And it all began with a tailor, a simple man who stitched more than clothes. He stitched broken minds back into peace. So if you ever find yourself wide awake at night, wondering why your heart feels heavy despite all you have, remember this: sometimes peace doesn't come from getting more, but from needing less. And sometimes the richest wisdom comes not from the wealthy, but from a man behind a sewing machine, humming a simple song under a flickering light.